Now remember, the good Lord gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth, so you can listen twice as much as you talk. Y'all like my new camera bag? We're going to do a video on that one soon. But today, the vast majority of my life, I didn't even know what an introvert was. I think it wasn't until sometime in my 20s where someone referred to me as an introvert, and I was like, I don't even know what that is, and I had to look it up. And it was one of those things where I think I had heard it before, but it never really clicked with me. But after I kind of got some idea of what it was, I was like, oh yeah. And it kind of changed a lot of things for me, because for a long time, when you're a shy, quiet kid, you think something's wrong with you. Like, why is everybody always telling you, well, you should talk more and this and that? And then once I figured out what an introvert was, I was like, I get it now. There ain't nothing wrong with me. There's a lot of other people like this too. So that was then, and there's a lot of, I'm 44 now, there's a lot of negatives that come with getting older, and we like to make jokes about them and whatnot. But one of the good things that comes from getting older, at least for me, hopefully with everybody else, is you start to just accept who you are. And you start to just not give a crap if someone doesn't like you for who you are. So, if you're an introvert, or if you're an extrovert and you just want to learn more about introverts, my name is Stormin Norman, and I will be your teacher today. Pardon my little makeshift classroom here, but I thought we'd start with, I might make this a series. Y'all think I should do that? Kind of make it a series, a couple parts, to really give you the inside information of an introvert's brain. So, but today, gotta start somewhere. We're going to start with small talk. I don't know if you can see that on there, but it says small talk. What is small talk? You know what small talk is? You probably engage in it all the time, even if you don't know what it is. Say you're at work, okay? It's Monday, you just got back from work. What's a question somebody might ask you? How was your weekend? How was your weekend? Somebody might ask you that question when you get back from work. That's an example of small talk. What's another question someone can ask you? How's work going? You run into somebody, you don't speak to them all the time. You run into them, how's work doing? Another example of small talk might be, how about this weather we're having? Those are things, small talk is things that people say where they're not really interested, they're just using it to make friendly conversation. You know what I'm saying? So they don't really know you, so they just keep it very shallow. Nothing wrong with small talk. Sometimes small talk can lead to, better conversation. You can make friends off of small talk in some ways. Introverts, we don't care for it. I mean, we understand that it's necessary, sometimes, but we don't like it. One is because we only want to talk about things we're interested in. So if you come up to an introvert and you're like, hey, how's work been? I'm not really interested in talking about work. It's work. It's what I do to pay the bills. Now, you might be one of them people out there who just has the dream job. You've always dreamed of having it, and it's just your life passion to go to this job every day, and it's just what you've always dreamed of. You're living the dream. But most people are not like that. It's like, I don't hate my job by no means. I like my job a lot, and I make good money. But it's not my lifelong passion to work in a flooring warehouse. So when you're asking me like, oh, how's work? It's work. I do the same thing every day. There's nothing like exciting for me to share with you about it. Or, how was your weekend? Well, there's two problems with this. One, introverts don't care for small talk because they want to talk about things that they're passionate about. And two, they want to talk about those things with someone who is also passionate about them. So say you're asking, how was your weekend? Well, I could tell you, but do you care? Like, if I don't know you well enough, I'm just going to assume you don't care. Like, if I know you're not into the same things I'm into, like say maybe you went to a comic book convention over the weekend. Maybe you went to Highland Games like I like to do. Maybe you went to a car show and you know that other person is not into that. That's not their thing. Like, I'm not going to get into it because I want to talk about it passionately, and you don't really care for it. You're just asking me for the sake of asking. So I'm probably going to just say some generic stuff because that's basically, what small talk is just generic conversation. And if I feel like that is the context, then I'm just going to give you a generic answer. Hey, how was your weekend? Oh, it was pretty good. That's it. Because for two reasons. One, I don't know you. And two, I doubt you care how my weekend really was. You're just asking. So, and like I said, nothing wrong with that. There is a time and a place for small talk. It's just not my jam. Like, I don't care. Oh, how's this weather? It's weather. It's Florida. It's hot all the time. It's hot. It's raining. Or on them rare occasions like today, it wasn't hot or raining. But the weather in Florida pretty much the same most of the year. How's the weather? It's Florida weather. Now, if you live in another state, that might be a different question, But, small talk, we don't care for it. Because part of the definition of an introvert is that we focus more on what's going on in here than what comes out of here. So we like things that we can dig deep into and talk about passionately and learn about things that we love. And that could be a whole lot. There's a whole lot of different things we could talk about. Like, I can talk about the nerdiest mess you want to talk about, or I can talk about college football. Well, I like college football. We can talk about that. But just so you know, if you're going to start a conversation, like you want to start a conversation, not small talk. I'm not talking about small talk. That's just throwaway stuff that you do out of necessity out of being nice and whatnot. But I'm saying, if you really want to start a conversation with someone, an introvert, start talking about something that you know they're passionate about. Because there's two things. If someone comes up to me and starts talking about something I'm passionate about, but I know they're not really into it, I'm gonna be like, okay, well, at least they're trying. You know, at least they're taking the right approach. Like, part of me is a little turned off because I know it ain't your thing, you don't care, but you're trying. Give you a good grade for that. But if someone comes up to me trying to start a conversation about something that I'm passionate about because they want to know more, because they're interested in it, boy, get you a chair, pull you up a chair, and get ready, because we're about to have a conversation. And if you're an introvert, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm quiet most of the time. I don't say nothing unless I feel like it's worth saying, or at least some stuff I've thought through before I say it. That's a video for another time. I just don't feel a need to talk to people who are not like me, you know. But if you start a conversation with me about something that I love because you want to know more about it, you're genuinely interested, and we can pick up on that. Then I'm going to talk daggum ear off. For real. I'm going to talk your face off. And you can be like, well, I thought he was quiet. Well, if you get me talking about something I love, something I'm really into, boy, about to run my lips off my face. So there's your first lesson on introverts. We don't want to talk unless we feel it's worth talking about. But if you bring up something we're passionate about, if you bring it up just because, you know, we're small talk off the table for a minute. If you bring up small talk, like I said, we'll play the game if we have to. 2, if you bring up something we're passionate about because you know we're passionate about it, and you're trying to, you know, we know you don't care, but you're trying, you know, to form that connection with us based on something that we're interested in. I can respect that. But 2, if you bring up something we're passionate about, something we love to talk about, because you either are already into it or you want to know more about it because you might think you might like it, now we're getting somewhere. Now you might have your best friend. Okay? So there you go. That is first lesson on Introvert 101. And I got a couple other ideas for topics we might talk about in future series. I ain't gonna do a whole bunch of them, maybe 2 or 3. Y'all let me know in the comments what y'all think about this, and, you know, we'll do a couple more. If you got an idea for an introverted, you know, class I could do, drop it in the comments down there below. And as long as there's probably some things I ain't thinking about. You know, not all introverts are the same. So if you got one I might not have thought of, drop it down in there. And appreciate y'all watching. I've been Stormin' Norman, and I have said things. Have a good evening.